call them patches down here, patch reefs. I don't fish that many patches. I have maybe half a dozen good patch spots, and I have those only because they contain all the varieties that I like to fish. They're not actually part of the outside reef before you drop off in the deeper water. That's really one of the patch reefs that are inshore. They have the Cerro mackerel, they have the big mutton snappers, they have the groupers, they have an occasional kingfish, they have the barracudas, you know, they have the yellowtail snappers, and every now and then you'll get a tuna in one of the patches, depending where you are. My guiding business doesn't revolve around catching little bottom fishing. You know, it revolves around some of the more exciting, more pelagic fish. So the patch spots that I have are those that are in an area where they have all those different species. What I'll generally do, there's a couple different things that I'll do. Number one, I'll throw a chum bag in the water, and what that chum is just basically ground up fish that's been frozen. You know? And you throw this in a chum bag, which is a bag full of little holes, and as that thaws, you know, it releases scent into the water. And because of the holes, there's little pieces of chum that dribble out of the bag and kind of float back. And that does a couple things. Number one, the actual oil of the fish and the scent kind of carries a long, long way, and almost makes your chum bag like a funnel. You know, as the chum goes out, it spreads out like that. So all that fish in that cone are basically going to smell that and come in seeking the source of that food. Then you have the little pieces of chum coming out of the bag, and then the little fish are going to start eating that, and the bigger fish are going to start seeing the little fish eating that, and they're going to keep getting closer and closer, and then just start throwing a little bait in the water. Throw a little bait in the water. And a lot of times I won't even fish for a while. I'll just kind of throw bait in the water, just hang out, let the fish get happy, let them feed, and then just throw a line out there. And I generally fish it two different ways. I'll fish one line up top. In other words, I'll have one outfit rigged with just a little tiny wire leader and a little hook, and put a bait on that and throw it out, just let that swim around. And then I'll have another outfit where I'll put a jig head, a lead head, and I'll put the bait on that and then drop that down, you know, so it kind of sinks at a 45-degree angle, and you can cover a little different water column. What happens is that the surface rod, you have a better chance of catching the tunas, the mackerel, the kingfish, cudas, yellowtail snapper, that sort of thing. And then the bottom rod, you have more of a chance of catching grouper. You have more of a chance of catching some bigger mutton snappers because you're getting down below the surface activity, down here where the bigger fish, the bigger bottom fish are feeding. And so that's basically the way I fish those two. If I want more eating type, bottom type fish, I'll fish the jig head. And if I want more, you know, mackerel, tuna, kingfish, cuda type fish, I'll fish the top rod.
All right, Cap.
Terry.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Grouper.
Yeah, what is that?
Little red? Little red grouper, huh? They're cool. I think we'll let him go, Terry. He's a little bit small. Sure is pretty though, isn't he?
Sure is. It's all lit up like that with all the colors.
Orange and all sorts of different colors. Terry, take a look inside here. Look what he had in his mouth.
Oh my gosh. Bunch of pelters, huh?
Nothing greedy about him. All right, we'll let him go with a mouthful of bait.
Keep the dinner?
Yeah, sure. He deserves it. Poor guy. All right, little fella, go on down there.
Jose, not only friend to man, but bring in some fish. we got a nice fish here.
You got a nice fish, Terry?
Yeah.
All right, Bubba. Let me close this bait well for you, bud.
We'll keep his head up here.
Yeah, good plan. Good plan.
He wants to go down. He wants to go down. We're not going to let him go down too far. Oh, he's right smack by the bottom too.
Okay,
Keep
all right.
him up. I've got the finger on the spool.
Hey, lift if you can. Gotcha.
You got me.
Gotcha. Just open your bail, let it go completely slack.
All right.
It's a good fish there.
Yeah. There he goes, pose.
Okay, wind. Go. On him. Go, down
I got
again, down again. Down again. Attaboy, that's the way to do it. He came out of that hole, huh?
Yeah.
You lucky dog. You lucky dog.
I don't believe it.
Well, hey, you did the right things, bro. You're in a safer zone right now, so you don't have to overamp them there, bub.
Mutton snapper, hose.
All right. Nice mutton, too.
Yes,
Slow
sirree.
down, slow down. Nice and easy. Keep his head in. Keep his head. Now, I tell you, boy, that is going to make some delicious victuals.
I know
tonight.
a particular captain would just love that.
I think you let him eat it.
Oh yeah. I gave him that extra second you told me to
Uh-huh. Isn't that beautiful?
get. Yeah.
All the colors and everything on them.
Jeez.
That is some kind of beautiful fish. And you know what? As pretty as he is, he tastes even better.
Does he really? You know, I'd really like to catch big sorrel mackerel.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
there's-
7, 8, 10 pounders.
7 or 8 and 10 pounders? Well,
They
go
out
on and
there?
do it.
Are they out there?
It could be. I haven't seen too many around, Terry, but you know, they always could be. There's always that one.
Ooh, we're rocking and rolling now. Get down there, boy. Get down. There you go. I got him hooked.
There you go. That's a mackerel there, Terry, I think. Pretty sure that's a mackerel.
Can that be my sorrel mackerel that I just asked for?
I don't know that he's 7, 8 pounds, but
7 or 8?
I said I don't know that he is.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, that's a nice mackerel right there,
No.
Terry.
No.
That's a nice mackerel right there.
Oh, wow, jeez. I think this is the one I asked for, isn't
It
it?
could have been the one you asked for, bro.
Wow, that's beautiful. That look like a sorrel to you?
Yeah, it is. Guarantee it's a Cerro.
All right. Whoa, you got excited about something.
I'm gonna close that well behind you, Terry.
Right, that'd be nice. Thank you.
You know,
Wow, this
I have not been able to put a rod in the water there, Mr.
Yeah,
Fish
I
Catching
apologize.
Machine.
You know, this guy was doing just fine, and then he come alongside the boat. He saw Captain Jose along the side of the Spanish Fly, and that was it. He said, "I'd seen this show before. I'm out of here."
That's a pretty good-sized fish, Terry.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
Real lightly hooked. Okay, give me a little more line, a little more line. Lift,
How's that?
lift.
Whoa! I'm telling you, Jose, he saw you
Yeah,
again.
he saw me.
Wow,
Terry.
what a grip!
That is a nice Cerro mackerel.
That's the one I asked for. I don't believe it. How do you do this?
That is a nice Cerro mackerel, man. Look at that thing.
Unbelievable. That's amazing. I wanted to see if he had ears, if he heard you say that. That is a beauty.
That is a beauty, man.
God, these colors are incredible.
Yep. Aren't they, though?
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
I love the species.
Right.
This guy's also going to be released into the fish box.
That's right. Okay. You notice I put my hand up, my arm up here. You weren't going to throw him over here. This All right. Taking it red. Yeah, the fishing musicians in the lower keys, of the lower keys.
Yeehaw. Fishing and a picking, 20 years later. My favorite way of catching those fish is on topwater plugs. I think, you know, you take any fish and bring it to the surface, you make that fish a lot better. When the kingfish start coming up to the surface more, I like to take lures that really skip on the surface. This lure here basically started life as a lure like this with a lip, and because of the nature of the bait that I'm chumming them with, the bait's escape mechanism is not to swim down, but rather to jump up out of the water. That's the bait's escape mechanism. So what I'm trying to do is find a plug or a lure that emulates that action the best. So rather than have a plug with a lip that dives down, I take that plug like that and basically just break the lip off. And now I've made that into a skipping plug. And the reason for that is that these kind of lures, that when they skip on the surface, like the bait that I've been throwing in the water, it has a tendency to make those fish bite by jumping out of the water. I can get them to bite on a lip plug, but I like the bite better when you take the lip off, because now the bait's skipping, and how the kingfish deal with bait like that is that they skyrocket on them. It's called skyrocketing, where they'll start 20, 30 feet under the surface and get a good head of steam out and just literally, just speed, come up and grab the lure in the mouth as they're coming up and then skyrocket down with them. And again, that's the nature of those fish and how they feed. A lot of times they're not looking to actually bite the bait or eat the bait when they're on their skyrocket. They're actually just looking with their mouth open to cut or slash the bait. They don't care if they eat it or not. If they cut it and slash it on the way up, when they come back down, they spin around and come and get the rest. So again, that's why I like to use these things, because the nature of the bite is just so much more exciting than fishing them with either live bait or a jig. The neatest thing to me about fishing little places like that is that you don't go for one species of fish. You know, your day doesn't revolve around, okay, we're going to catch tunas today, or we're going to catch mackerel today, or, you know, the nature of those kind of spots is that you know, granted the fish aren't huge, you know, a 10-pound snapper is a pretty good snapper. A 6-7 pound Cerro mackerel is a pretty good mackerel. But the neat thing about it is that you have all the variety there. You know, you're in one spot, you don't have to move around. You know, you can drop a bait down and catch your mutton snapper. You can fish on top and catch your mackerel and stuff like that. And every now and then, you know, you have the big hurrah come along, and you get a big kingfisher, you get a big tuna. I mean, to me, the nature of those places, it's more like a variety spot. You know, you throw a bait out and you're just really not sure what's going to come up next, you know.
He's got friends. Oh, he's got a cuda.
The cuda got him. The cuda got him. Oh, no.
Oh.
Here, let me see yours.
Where we got the meaty side. Oh, here he comes. He wants the rest of it.
Let's see. You got a half a fish, and I've got a whole fish. See that kudo come back
right here. Look at. He's going to bite the bag. He's bite the bag.
He bit the bag. Here, Terry. Here, just tease him with your rod. No, leave the bag in the water. Up. Lift. Get out of there.
Shall I lure him again?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something very insensitive about this, isn't it?
That's right.
Here he is again. There we go. Here, I'm going to let this thing go on the other side. There you go, fella. To get him away from this thing. God, look at him.
Jeez.
He's like not a care in the world.
I don't think I've ever seen a barracuda come up and hit the chum bag. Too much, isn't it? He wants one more time. He wants one more time. So here comes, Jose. Come out of the water that time.
Yeah. Bring him over here. Let me.
I won't smack you in the face.
I mean, turnaround's fair play, you know?
He's gutsy, isn't he?
All right.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like a pet.
Yeah. Pet with teeth.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's let him go.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Slide that thing over this way, Terry.
All right.
I mean, look at those. Look at the white marks on that thing, huh?
Oh, wow.
Is that amazing?
Yeah.
Look at this side. Oh. Easy, boy, easy. It'll be over soon. Goodbye. That's going to be one very happy barracuda, Terry. One very happy barracuda. I dropped my pick. Terry and I have known each other for quite a few years, and he's a good buddy. I actually met him. We were playing racquetball together, and he says, you know, hey, I heard you fish, and I go, yeah. Hey, I heard you play guitar, and I says, you know, I really wanted to get into playing more acoustic. I played a lot of electric guitar. I wanted to get into more playing acoustic guitar. So I says, I'll tell you what, I'll trade you fishing lessons for guitar lessons. And he says, oh, okay. And through that process, you know, we got to be very, very good friends. You know, there's a lot of times that we'll go fishing, you know, and do that gig, and then, you know, we always try to plan a little part of the evening where, you know, after fishing, we just sit home and, you know, break out the guitars and play for a little bit. So that's always been a very special relationship to me with him.
Oh, I got something really big here, buddy.
Really?
Yes, definitely. I thought I got a glimpse of it, and it was dark.
Huh. You had a pile of line out there, bro.
Got most of it back now. Got to figure just about all of it.
Fighting pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked from up there and I saw you had about this much line left on your spool.
I think I saw that knot that you tied at the end of the line here.
Fighting pretty weird, isn't it?
Definitely.
You know, it fought like a kingfish for a second, but it's still fighting too hard.
There he is.
It's pretty dark, isn't it? That's a tuna, Terry.
That's
a blackfin tuna.
You're kidding me. That's tuna.
That is a blackfin tuna. Oh my.
That's an awful big tuna. Blackfin tuna?
Yeah. Pretty big blackfin tuna too.
On spinning tackle.
On spinning tackle. In 20 feet of water.
They'll never believe me back home. Of course,
now,
we haven't really got a hold of it yet. But.
We haven't got a hold of them. Boy, Terry, I turned my back on you for a second. There you are catching fish again.
Is that what we're supposed to do? Turn his head the other way.
There he is, yeah. Definite blackfin. Will you look at that?
Try to pull up on him.
Yeah, you can pull on him a little.
He's kind of more or less pulling on me, really.
I know.
I'm pulling up at the line.
Yeah. There he is, Terry. Easy on him. Keep his head in the water if you can. Okay. Nice fish. Nice fish. Nice big old blackfin. Ooh, that is a nice blackfin.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep his head in the water too at the same time.
Yeah, that's all right. Just
The
follow
chum
him around.
bag. All right.
No wonders never cease, huh?
I'm telling you.
Gotta let him go. One more time. Lift up, lift up.
All right. Kind of pulling down.
Okay.
I don't want to pull it out. Okay, here he comes. Here he comes, buddy.
Easy. Give me the line. Easy.
Holy tuna! Wow! Look! Oh my gosh!
That is a slob of a blackfin, Terry.
Unbelievable! Look at all the line marks too, huh?
Uh-huh.
Unreal!
Whew.
Woo!
Is that a beauty or what?
Unreal!
That
15-pound test.
That is a dog of a tuna, bro.
Oh, mackerel! Holy tuna!
Well, I bet you want to eat him.
Well, you know what? He looks awful good. I've been at sushi in a long time.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Let's keep him. Wow. Can you believe that in 20 feet of water?
Unbelievable.
What a way to end the day, Bubbaloo. What a way to end the day.
All right.
Terry,
Thanks, Jose.
congrats.
All right.
Good job.